Close your eyes and imagine the most powerful brand in the world. Now imagine it didn't start in a high-tech lab, but here in a small, cluttered garage. This is the story of Apple, a story of impossible dreams, relentless passion, and one man's refusal to settle for anything less than greatness. But like any great story, it starts with a spark, a young boy named Steve Jobs, who saw the world not just as it was, but as it could be. From the very beginning, Steve was different. He questioned everything, pushed boundaries, and dared to dream of a future where technology could be personal, where it could be human. Born on February 24th, 1955, in San Francisco, Steve Jobs was given up for adoption by his biological parents. He was taken in by Paul and Clara Jobs, who nurtured his growing interest in electronics. But Steve wasn't like other kids. While others were content playing with toys, Steve wanted to know how they worked, what made them tick. In school, Steve was known as a troublemaker, not because he was bad, but because he was bored. He craved something more, something deeper. And then he met Steve Wozniak, a fellow electronics enthusiast who would become his closest friend and partner in changing the world. Together, they were unstoppable. Two young men with a dream, working late into the night, fueled by a belief that they could create something extraordinary. They had no money, no fancy equipment, just an idea and an unbreakable will. In 1976, that idea became the Apple I, a simple yet revolutionary computer built not for corporations but for people, real people. Steve was the visionary, Wozniak the technical genius. They made a perfect team. But the road ahead was far from easy. Selling the Apple I was a struggle, and the future was anything but certain. Jobs knew they were on the verge of something big, but no one else saw it yet. He knocked on door after door, faced rejection after rejection, until finally a local electronics store took a chance on them. It was a small victory, but for Steve, it was proof that they were on the right path, and he was right. The Apple II wasn't just a success, it was a revolution. It brought computers into homes across America, and suddenly Apple wasn't just a startup in a garage, it was a movement. With the success of the Apple II, Steve Jobs became a legend. But legends are made not just by their successes, but by how they handle their failures. As Apple grew, so did the tensions within the company. Steve's relentless pursuit of perfection led to clashes, and in 1985, just 10 years after founding Apple, he was forced out of the company he had built from nothing. For most, this would have been the end. But for Steve, it was just the beginning. He could have walked away, but instead, he chose to fight. He founded Next, a company that would create the foundation for many of Apple's future products. And in his spare time, he bought a small animation studio called Pixar, a studio that would change the face of filmmaking forever. Meanwhile, Apple was falling apart. The company that Steve had once envisioned as the future was now teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. In 1997, with nothing left to lose, Apple did the unthinkable. They asked Steve Jobs to return. Steve didn't just come back, he came back with a vengeance. He stripped the company down to its core, focusing on what truly mattered: innovation. And with that, the iMac was born, a computer that was as beautiful as it was powerful, a product that signaled to the world that Apple was back. But Steve wasn't just content with saving Apple. He wanted to change the world again. The iPod transformed how we listen to music, the iPhone redefined what a phone could be, and the iPad opened up a new realm of possibilities. Each product was a testament to Steve's belief that technology should be both powerful and personal. Steve Jobs wasn't just a CEO, he was a visionary, a leader who believed that technology could make life better, simpler, more meaningful. His vision didn't just build a company, it built a culture, a way of thinking that continues to inspire millions even after his passing in 2011. Today, Apple is more than just a company. It's a testament to the power of dreaming big, of never giving up, and of always believing in the impossible. Because in the end, it's not just about making great products, it's about making a dent in the universe. This is the story of Apple, born from a dream in a garage and grown into the world's most valuable brand.